Hey guys, welcome to number 63 of Jazz Piano Daily. Today I'm going to show you an easy way of being able to create fills in your arrangement. So if you've been following along, we are using Duke Ellington's In a Sentimental Mood as our kind of our foundation tune that we're adding concepts onto. And now we're starting to fill in between in the melody because the melody has a lot of those long stretches, right? So it starts... it just holds on that note for, like a whole measure. Well, what do? So we're going to add in some embellishments. All right, so if we take a look at the sheet music here, okay, you'll see that what I'm doing here in this first part, all right, so this is your melody note, right? That's where we want to get to. All right, so D minor, and I'm getting to that G. So what do? I go G, A. All of these notes are based off of D minor, okay? Now, an easy way of being able to find what notes you can use for your fills is start with the chord, okay? You can always use your chord tones. So if you have D minor or even D minor 7, I'm going to take the 7 for right now and just kind of bring that note down here, just so we can kind of keep all the notes in one place, all right? And now, I also know that what other note really works chord tension-wise on most chords? The 9th. Okay, so the 9th works, and on a minor chord, I know I can add in my 11th as well. Let's say that I didn't know that. Let's say I thought it was going to be that note instead, right? Because you only have a couple of choices here, right? That note, or that note to fill in between here. Well, you could try each one of these, but you probably should know that the F sharp, G flat there, well, that's the 3rd, and that would make it a D major chord, so it shouldn't be that one. And that one, well, like... right, you're going to hear like, oh, wait, that sounds kind of weird. But you hear that sounds really nice, okay? So really, this is just a D minor 5-finger scale. That's all that we're doing here. So that's D major 5-finger scale, that's D minor 5-finger scale. So I go, so 1 and 2 E and 3, 4. Okay? So that's the first embellishment. Now, you could do many other ones, and what I suggest that you do is try coming up with your own. Okay, what about... Now, the thing you're going to want to make sure of is you get back to the G, because if I end on, say the F, right, that's not the melody anymore, right? So it's going to sound a little bit weird. So I want to get back to that melody. All right, if I keep moving on here... check it out on the G minor. It's that 16th note triplet down to the 8th note on the G. Okay. And then the next measure here, the G minor. Nothing changes there, but now check this out. So rather than just going... I'm just going right to the D, start with the F, E, D, again, 3rd, 9th roots, right? And also notice how I add that little grace note in there. You can see that written in the music right here, okay? Whoops, let me get rid of this. All right, so you see it's written in the music right there, that grace note, okay? And notice the left hand as well. What am I doing? I'm just breaking up the chord, root, 3, 7, 3. Just a different accompaniment technique. It should be pretty simple for you because we've done root 7 and played the 7th. We've done root 3 and played the 3. So here I'm just using root 3, 7, 3. I could break up those chord tones however I want. The main thing is I just want to make sure that I start on that root, okay, for the very first beat. And then check this out. And in a full, or fuller, D7 chord. This is a root 3, 7 D7 chord. Now let's take a look at the fill that I did here. So this is all on D7. Okay, so rather than just going to C, or just rather than ending on the E, Now here's an instance in which I didn't go back to that E, and that's okay because it is a chord tone and it sounds good. Right? So now what am I doing here? What are the notes? Well, that's the root, the 7th, and the 5th of the D7 chord. And then what's the other note I'm using? The 9th. So if there's a takeaway in this lesson for fills, think chord tones plus the 9th. Now, obviously on the minor chord, we're adding in the 4th or the 11th, right? On that D, we're adding in that 4th, right? Or the 11, however you want to look at it. Okay, it's that note. So that's fine as well, but I could easily just do D like this, the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and add in the 9, and then just kind of add, create fills just using those notes. So your chord tones always work, and the 9th almost always works. All right, so moving on here. And then check this out. I like this line here because it just is a real nice outlining, taking me right to that note F. Okay, if you take a look at the very end here, right, notice it looks very much like an enclosure, doesn't it? Right? It looks like you're enclosing that note F. Half step from below, whole step from above to the F. And what am I doing on the G minor? Again, 3, 9, root, 3rd, and then 3rd of C, 5th of C. So notice a lot of chord tones. This is why it's so important that you learn your chords and you really know your chords well, because when you know your chords well, then you could break them up and use them for fills, and guess what? You can also use them for improvisation as well. And we're going to start moving into improvisation now that we're talking about improvisation. So we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to improvise over this song next, okay? But I wanted to just kind of give you some ideas for fills as well. Now, if you have not become a member of Jazz Piano Daily, let me just tell you about this real quick. Right now, the membership is only $5.99 a month. There's no plans of it going up, and there's no plans of it going down. There are no specials. If you're a member of one of my other sites, it's still $5.99 a month. What I've tried to do here is create an incredible value for an incredible price. And I think most of you would agree that there's a lot of value here, and that is not a lot to pay for the amount of value that you're getting here, okay? It's going to be 365 lessons. So right now we're on lesson, 63, right? There's going to be 365 of those lessons. As being a monthly member, you will be able to access all of those lessons, all right? You'll also be able to get the sheet music and the backing tracks as well. All right. So anyway, if you're interested, just go ahead right back to jazzpianodaily.com to get more information, or take a look at the card that just popped up in the top right-hand portion of the video. If you have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Right? If you're confused about anything that I've said on the lesson, or you need some help, write it in the comment section below. I read all of the comments. I'll be happy to answer your question. All right. That's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Take care.